Yeah! Oh my god, we don't do it!
Yeah! Whoa! Whoa!
We want to tell you.
Why are y'all here,
We
bro?
want to tell you about CJ3's performance.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Right Bench Podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm James.
Season 3, Episode 16. Some could call it the College Football Playoff Special. We're not really going to call it that. We have more stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
But
we'll
it's
have a
pretty much
couple
what it
college
is.
football
Yeah.
specials.
Next week will be the same kind of thing. We may just shorten it. We'll see. Just depends on how long this episode goes. But, yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
college football coming your way. So it's going to be a good episode.
Yeah, so yeah, that. And then we got recent rundown. We have no little segment this week because how long this is going to take. We have NFL picks. We're picking 16 games this week, so buckle up. And we got Dog of the Week. So let's get into it. All right.
Let's do it.
My screen's kind of like wobbling over here. I might want to like make sure.
Uh-oh, hope it doesn't fall
Fall,
off. What
yeah.
if it were to fall off? Would that be like,
Yeah, well, it would be a shame.
it'd be
All
kind
right.
of funny.
Anyway, let's get this thing started. I actually didn't know if we were gonna do recent rundown until this. Now it's the biggest recent rundown of the week of the year so far, and we've been 4.5 days.
Short week,
So,
by the way. So
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
hope y'all appreciate that. Also, can we remind them, tune into the live stream?
Oh yeah, live stream.
This
What am I talking
Saturday.
about? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
One second.
Mm.
Okay, you know what to do. All right. So make sure. Sorry, inside stuff.
Okay.
Let's get started. We're gonna go in order of the games that are being played. So we'll start with number 7 Notre Dame, playing at home against number 10 Indiana. So let's get started, James, with key players. Then we're gonna do key matchups, keys to the game, and our pick.
Okay, so firstly, I want to shout out Indiana for being here. Good for y'all, and shout out Notre Dame for getting a home game. I think it'll be a fun one up in South Bend.
Just start with one team. Would you like Notre Dame's?
Okay, so my first key players for Indiana. I'm gonna start with
Okay,
Indiana
I'll do
first.
Indiana first.
And the first key player is their quarterback Curtis Rourke. I think this is a pretty easy one. In my opinion, he was 9th in Heisman voting. He had an incredible season. People were putting him top 4 in Heisman voting through the first 4 or 5 weeks. He had over 2,800 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. He had a really, really good year. And I think the big thing with Indiana is getting their passing game going. And I think all year they've relied on the passing game a ton, and especially Curtis Rourke. So he's a key player for me. And then I couldn't really find another really key player that I look in this game because Indiana plays like such a team. They play bonded. They play together. So I went with Kirk Cignetti just as kind of another key guy because he has talked all this talk this year about how Indiana should have hosted a first-round game, which should they have? No. They should be in, but they shouldn't have hosted one. He's talked this game about who he's one of the best coaches in college football. He did win the Coach of the Year award. Can he back it up? Can he coach a better game than Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame? I think he's a key piece here because he's talked up so much.
Yeah, I was really cheering for Dillingham in that award.
Yeah, I was too.
What was also your point in the features draft?
Sure, I know. I just like Dillingham.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll start with my guys for Indiana. I'll start with the quarterback, right? Curtis Rourke. The way I went with this is like this is the biggest game of this kid's career. Like, he's been in the regular season. He played against Ohio State. He played all right and kind of fell apart, right? Mm-hmm. So I think does he rise to the occasion and does he play like he's been playing all season, or does he kind of shell up? Like, does he kind of get nervous and just play bad, right? So I think he has to be very, very smart in this game, make the throws that need to be made. He cannot give the ball to Notre Dame. He has to protect the football.
Yeah. Period.
You can't give Notre Dame extra possessions in a game where they are highly favored, and you have to be the upset team. So Curtis Rourke's my first one. My second one, I went with Justice Ellison, their running back. I think really a big part of this game for Indiana is going to be establishing the run. Period. Like, Curtis Rourke can't do it all by himself. Notre Dame, they got a great defense, right? Yeah. Notre Dame
has one of the best
defenses. Yeah, so that's what I thought. So Notre Dame knows they're passing it because there's stuff in the run. They're going to pick apart Curtis Rourke, make him make mistakes. It's not going to work for Indiana. You have to run the ball. I think that's a big thing here for Indiana.
Yeah, I totally agree. And getting into the key players for Notre Dame, the number one guy that I knew I had to put on here was Jeremiah Love. He's the running back for Notre Dame. He's had a breakout year as a sophomore. He is a Heisman contender for next year at that running back spot as a junior. But this year, he has had a very solid year. He's had 134 carries for a little bit under 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. That was the big stat that broke out for me, is they do rely on their run a lot. Notre Dame, since the first 3 games of the season, has relied on the run. Riley Leonard's been good, but he hasn't been great. And I think getting the run game going, like you said, for Indiana will also be a big thing for Notre Dame. I think it's just slowing the game down. And I think Jeremiah Love is a big piece in that. The other guy, I went to the defensive side of the ball. Notre Dame has the 3rd ranked passing defense in the country. I think they only give up about 157 passing yards a game. That's pretty impressive. And the main spot for that is their senior Xavier Watts, their safety. He's got 50 tackles, 5 interceptions, and a pick 6. He's had an incredible year, and I think just leaning on the DBs for Notre Dame is going to be a big one, especially with Curtis Rourke's passing.
Okay, so my guys, I'm going to start with the quarterback. I'm going to pick 7 quarterbacks out of 8. I just couldn't avoid it, right? Riley Leonard, I think the main thing for him, though, he needs to be a good passer, which I think he usually is. He's only thrown for 2,000 yards this year, but he's been all right. And then I think he needs to be able to run the ball. It can't be just Jeremiah Love, I think. If they can get their running game going with both Leonard and Jeremiah Love, I think it's going to be really, really, really tough for them to lose this game just because of the dynamic offense they're going to have. Riley Leonard's run for 14 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
If he can keep that up, get in the end zone maybe, just make plays when he needs to with the scrambling ability, I think that's going to be huge. And I went another Riley Mills. I'm assuming he's an edge, but it said D lineman. He has 6.5 sacks this year. I think you need to pressure Curtis Rourke. Do not let him sit in the pocket. Do not let him just pick you apart from the pocket, right? Fluster him, get him scrambling, and make him make mistakes. That's huge. Getting to Curtis Rourke here. That's why I went Riley Mills.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Indiana is if Curtis Rourke is comfortable, like he has been all year except that Ohio State game, he's incredible. I mean, they just blew out Purdue 66-0, and he barely got touched. That's just an example, right? When he's comfortable, he plays well. In the Ohio State game, they brought pressure, and he didn't play great. So we're going to move on to key matchups now, right?
Key matchups, yeah.
So this is kind of playing in to my Kurt Signetti pick for a key player, I guess. And it's the coaching versus coaching. Marcus Freeman versus Kurt Signetti. There's been a lot of debate on who's the better coach the week leading up to this. I do think that Marcus Freeman is a better coach, and I think he can out-scheme and I guess out-coach Kirk Signetti. But I do think it's going to be an interesting matchup. I think this game actually comes down to coaching a lot more than people expect. I think scheming for both these quarterbacks is way different, right? Marcus Freeman's side is scheming for a pocket passer guy, while Kurt Signetti is scheming more for a run-first kind of guy like Riley Leonard. So I think it'll be interesting to see, and I think whoever out-coaches this game could win it.
Okay, is that just your only one? Or
I did too. Do you want me to do my second one?
Well, yeah, you do it.
Okay.
I want to say, I think all of college football, coaching is so important.
It is.
It's something that gets overshadowed, but I don't know who's a better coach. Marcus Freeman hasn't really impressed me too much, but I haven't really paid attention.
Yeah, I just really like Marcus Freeman. I think that coaching is, a lot of people don't make a big deal out of it, but I think this is the best coaching matchup that we're getting in the first round. And then, okay, so my second key matchup is the Indiana offense versus Notre Dame defense. It's a pretty easy one. Indiana's offense has been one of the best in the country, and Notre Dame's defense has been one of the best in the country. I think whoever controls the possession longer is going to win this football game. So that's pretty much it. I do think Curtis Rourke could have a big game, but I think Notre Dame's defense is gonna ruffle his feathers a little bit.
Especially with that run game in Notre Dame, it's gonna be tough for them not to control the game.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I won't spend too much time here. I kind of gonna be a broken record, but my key matchup is Indiana's O line versus Notre Dame's defensive line. Right? You cannot let Curtis Rourke get too much time, and on the Indiana side, you cannot let him get too flustered. Right? He's got to have time in the pocket, and so Notre Dame needs to be able to get to him, bring pressure, even when you're just rushing forward. I think that's really important. And then my second one is Riley Leonard versus the Indiana linebackers. So it's really the whole defense in general, but mainly the linebackers. Keep him in front of you. Keep him contained close to that pocket. If he tries to run, don't let him crack a big one, right?
Yeah.
Keep him in front of you, make a play. Because if Leonard's run game gets going, along with Jeremiah Love and their passing game, they win.
The thing that's impressive with Riley Leonard is he gets you with your eyes. He looks at different things. He looks at different positions when he's actually running the other way. I think that's the one thing that's tough to guard with Riley Leonard. He's a really smart runner. He might not be the fastest guy on the field, but he's very smart when he runs.
All right, keys to the game.
Keys to the game. For Indiana, I have one key for each team. My one key for them is don't switch up what you've been doing the whole year. You have been incredible this entire year, except that Ohio State game. You have blown teams out. Your offense has played great. Don't switch up. Don't go to things that you have not done all year, right? That's what gets you, in my opinion, in this game. Indiana has played so great offensively. Don't switch up offensively.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? Coaching might want to be like, hey, we need to do something different against Notre Dame. this is the playoffs. No, stay within yourself.
Exactly.
Do what you know you can do. My key to the game for Indiana is I think Curtis Rourke needs to create chunk plays with his arm. I don't think they can march down the field very effectively versus the Notre Dame defense. I think Curtis Rourke needs to make plays with his arm, get down the field quick, and I think that's important. And also limit the run game. I think you can't let Notre Dame lean on the run in this game, or else they're gonna pick you apart, control the game, and it's gonna be a bloodbath. So
Yeah,
that's my 2 keys to the game.
Just kind of make Bradley Leonard pass, right? I think that's the kind of the main point. And for
limit the run. Don't stop the run, just limit it.
Yeah, exactly. For Notre Dame, my key for them is just to play smart. I think defensively they are such an intelligent group and such a senior filled group, especially in the DBs. And I think that's going to play a big part in this game. Indiana has obviously never really been in a situation where you're contending for a championship. Notre Dame has been in that situation in the last 4 years, right? They've had chances to contend for championships. While they might not have gotten there, they've had chances. They've always been in the top 10. So I think just playing smart and using that seniority, I think will play a big part in this game.
Yeah, so I have 2 for Notre Dame. I'm going to be a broken record again, right? This is like the main thing I think to watch in this game. Will Notre Dame pressure Curtis Rourke? They have to do it. If they can keep him flustered, he's not going to be able to pick you apart on the back end. I think that's really big, especially because that's their only hope if you're Indiana. Like, if you can pressure him, keep him flustered, keep him from making these throws, then you're going to win this game. And also, again, lean on the run, right? You have Riley Leonard. Have Jeremiah Love. I said it for Indiana not to. I think you need to lean on the run here and keep the ball out of Indiana's hands for most of this game, and you'll win.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Notre Dame leaning on the run, if they get into the run game and they get a good run game going, and just picking up 7-yard gains after 7-yard gains in the run game, that's just what gets your offense moving and comfortable. I think it's going to play a big part. So I do like that.
Yeah, so real quick, James, what's your pick here?
My pick, and I'm going with more my heart than my mind here. I'm going to go with Indiana. I do buy into the Cinderella story. And I think that out of anyone they could have played in the first round, I think this is their best get, right? I think that while they should not switch up, they might have to in this game. And I think Indiana's going to play very smart. I think they're going to play better than Notre Dame on offense. I think that's what wins them game. I do think it's lower scoring than most people expect, but I have Indiana on top.
What's your score prediction?
I think it's going to be like 20-13. Okay. That'd be my guess.
Well, I couldn't be more differing from you, right? I think Curtis Rourke's going to have a really tough game. I think Notre Dame run game is going to be too much at the end of the day, right? And I think Notre Dame is going to win this game 38-20. Moving on to play Georgia. And I mean, we basically said it the last 8 minutes, right? Telling you Notre Dame needs to do this and they win. Indiana needs to do this to have a chance.
Exactly.
And so I think that's the logical pick here based on what we've both been saying. Notre Dame, I have them big because I think the keys to the game, I think they go Notre Dame's way.
Yeah, I do think that Notre Dame can win this game. I don't think it's going to be as big of a margin as you think.
Maybe if I could do it again, maybe I'd say the margin maybe like
18 points is a lot.
I don't know if they could get 38. I think maybe like 31-17 maybe, but I'll say with 38-20. I think I like that.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Number 6, Penn State is hosting number 11 SMU. I think if anyone's gonna be a Cinderella story, it might be SMU.
Maybe
because I don't think Indiana's that good. But
okay. Yeah.
I don't think either of them are that good. I don't think Indiana is good.
Yeah.
So I'll start with my key players this time. For Penn State, we'll start my Abdul Carter. I need him to win the Ted Hendricks Award, and I also think he's a great player. Right? Again, I'm gonna say it like I said last game. You gotta keep Kevin Jennings flustered. Make him make mistakes. This is not a guy that's gonna go out maybe and make the most great plays, but if you can keep him from staying within himself, make him make mistakes to your secondary, that's huge. And also another quarterback, Drew Aller. This is the biggest game of his life. Just like a lot of these quarterbacks, right? I think he needs to stay composed, needs to stay in control, stay calm, protect the football. You can't give SMU anything because if you do, they might take advantage, and then you see yourself late in this game losing. So I think if you can protect the football, if you're Drew Aller, you'll have a very good chance to win.
Yeah, and piggybacking off of that, another one of my key players is Drew Aller. I think he's already announced that he's coming back for his senior season. I think that's actually a big deal. I think his team plays with a lot of poise, and I think they play together. I think that's the main point that is so good about Penn State. They have a great defense. They have a pretty good offense, but they play together. So I think Drew Aller coming back is going to play a big part in this game. He threw for over 21 touchdowns, and the interceptions have kind of been a problem. But I do think that he can poise himself in this game. I do think he was a key player. And then I went back on the offensive side of the ball. I know what Penn State has defensively. They're one of the best in the country, especially on the line with Abdul Carter. I went to Tyler Warren. We've got to shout this guy out, right? I mean, he won the award for the best tight end in the... Ooh, dang, voice crack. For the best tight end in the country. He's a senior. He's had 88 receptions this year. He's led the team in yards with over 1,000 and 6 touchdowns. He's played 11 different positions on the offensive side of the ball. I don't even know how
11?
that's possible.
He played center.
No, he played 11 different positions, not on offense and special teams. So he played like 3 different positions on special teams, and then he played like running back, receiver, quarterback. Like, he played almost every position. So I think Tyler Warren's just going to play a big part in this game, in the scheming for SMU. This guy is one of the most unschemable players in the country. He's like a Taysom Hill in the NFL. You don't know where he's going to be on the field, and when he gets subbed in, he's very scary. So I think Tyler Warren plays a big part in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I never said I wasn't going to talk about him later. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
But anyway, for SMU, my key players, I'm going to start with the quarterback. Again, Kevin Jennings. He needs to be a playmaker in this game. He can't be a guy that just sits back and lets the Penn State defense tear him up, all right? They need to lean on the run. That's my next guy. He needs to keep pressure on the Penn State defense by being a playmaker. I think that's huge. And then also, Rashard Smith, the running back, he's been really, really good this year. I was surprised to see his numbers. You need to lean on the run. You can't put it all on Kevin Jennings' shoulders. I think you lean on the run here with Rashard Smith, and you win this game, and you have a chance to win this game for your SMU.
And that's I have the exact same 2 key players, because for SMU, they're another team that doesn't have guys who just stick out to you, except Kevin Jennings, in my opinion. I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the country. He has a chance to win the Heisman next year, and I think
that's Garrett Nussmeier. Sorry.
Okay, maybe. He threw for over 3,000 yards. That's not easy to do. In the conference they played, it's not too hard, but it's not easy, obviously, to do anything like that. Another guy who's had a lot of interceptions. He's had 8 interceptions this year. It's not great, but I think, like you said, leaning on the run, they were able to do that kind of even when they were down against Clemson, and they got back into it. And I think it's going to be a big thing in this game. I think SMU is going to have to lean on the run, and I think Penn State's going to have to figure out a way to stop it. So yeah, I have two same guys.
Key matchups now. My first key matchup is going to be Kevin Jennings versus the Penn State secondary. Penn State's going to try to make him mess up, right? They're going to give him disguised looks and all that stuff. Kevin Jennings cannot let them trick you. Can't do it. Because if Penn State can control the turnovers, then they can win this game. They can create turnovers, not control. If Penn State can create turnovers in this game, they're going to win far and away. And then my second one is Tyler Warren versus the SMU defense in general, because he plays everywhere, right?
Yeah.
They need to limit him. He's not going to be stopped, but no matter where he plays, limit him. Don't let them lean on Tyler Warren, right? Because if Tyler Warren goes crazy, that opens up the Penn State offense even more, and they'll create big numbers. And our audio is going out on Spotify, so yeah.
Well, if you're listening on Spotify, we'll keep you updated in a minute. But my first key matchup, and it's more of a key...
Oh, there's back.
Nice. And it's more of a key question. Can James Franklin win a big game? Because over the past 4 years, we have seen him... He's won the games he's supposed to, but he can't beat an Oregon this year. He can't beat an Ohio State every year. Sometimes he loses to Michigan. He doesn't win his big games. So this isn't the biggest game that they're going to have, especially if they're able to move on. But this is a start. It's his first ever playoff game, obviously, coaching Penn State. And I think this is going to be a big one for Penn State fans in general, and that transitions into my next key matchup. Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
This is his best team he's had. Right?
Exactly.
You've seen him compete with Oregon. You've seen him compete with Ohio State. Those are one-score games, right? So I think he's got a chance to go win some big games. It's now, and I think they have a really good chance to make the semifinals. So.
Exactly. He's got the easiest road to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think transitioning to my next point is SMU versus the whiteout and the crowd at Beaver Stadium, right? I said last week I think this is the best stadium in the country. I think they have one of the best atmospheres in the country. And even though it is an 11 a.m. kick, which stinks, it's still a whiteout. They're still going to be loud. It's still going to be sold out. And going up to Beaver Stadium, it looks like the weather there is not going to be too bad. It's going to be sunny, about 30 degrees. But can SMU go up and play in the cold? Can they go up and play in this loud stadium? I think that's a big thing, especially coaching-wise. Did SMU do the right things in practice this week to get ready for that?
Yep, all right, so keys to the game. I'll start with Penn State. I think the key for Penn State is score early and often. SMU, they just won't be able to keep up. They kind of did against Clemson, but I think they won't be able to keep up. If you score early, you score often. I think if you start the run, then I don't think Jennings will be able to lead a one-dimensional team against this Penn State offense. Maybe I'm undershadowing this guy, but against this Penn State defense, I don't think he can lead a one-dimensional offense. It's got to be two-dimensional with that run game, too. So start the run for Penn State and score early and often.
Okay, so for Penn State, my main thing is run the dang ball. Like, just beat them down offensively with the run. Nick Singleton coming into the season was my favorite running back. He hasn't had as good of a year as I was expecting. He's obviously a little banged up in the middle of the season. But I think Penn State running the ball in a cold game against SMU, I don't think they're going to be able to stop it. So I think that's the big thing for Penn State, run the ball.
All right, for SMU, I have 2 here. Again, look, you need to start off hot. We saw what you did against Clemson. You got down bad early. You came back. We saw what you did in the comeback, but you can't have to do that again. You lost that game, and you're going to lose again if you have to make a comeback like that. So don't get down early again. Start off hot. And then also get off the field on 3rd down. You cannot let Penn State control this game on you. I think if on these 3rd downs, you need to get off the field, get the ball back in the hands of your offense, or else Penn State's going to beat you down, like James said.
Yeah, for SMU, my main point is play your game and back it up. Because a lot of people were saying that Alabama should be in this game over y'all, right? I want you to back it up. I want y'all to show me why y'all deserve to be at this 11 seed and deserve to be playing Penn State, deserve to be in the college football playoff. Back it up, play your game, play SMU football.
Yeah, I mean, Bama's probably a better team, but SMU deserves it. Right?
Exactly,
And so that's what we're here. They're here.
But I'd like them to show me it.
My pick, I think both defenses in this game play very, very well. I think Penn State controls it. I think their defense really holds up late, leading to a 24-20 victory, and then move on to play Boise State.
I have another low-scoring game in this one. I have Penn State winning this game pretty easily, but it's a low-scoring game. I have SMU only scoring 10 points in this game. While that might be rough because this SMU offense has been great, I have Penn State winning 21-10. And I do think it's close at the beginning. I just think Penn State runs the ball efficiently, and I think they just break them down in the second half. I got Penn State winning.
Yeah, I have one of those defensive games that they kind of put up more points than you think.
Yeah.
Like 24-20.
Yeah.
Seems like an offensive game, but like really, the defense is kind of held. So maybe force some turnovers.
SMU could go for 10 or they could go for 40. We don't know.
We'll see how they react to this Penn State defense, right? Next up, number 5, Texas hosting number 12, Clemson.
Ooh.
Let's get into it. James thinks it'll be the best game. I think he's wrong.
Okay.
But anyway, James starts off with your key players.
Key players, I'm going to go to Clemson first. I'm going to go to the lower seed. Cade Klubnik is, in my opinion, the biggest key player out of the 8 teams in this first round. He is a junior. He threw for over 3,000 yards this year. He also rushed the ball 106 times for about 450. He had 7 touchdowns on the ground, 33 in the sky. Had 5 interceptions, not that bad. And I just think Cade Klubnik the last couple of weeks have been so efficient on the ground and running the ball and using his legs. He's been a lot smarter, especially passing. I mean, this guy was so bad in that Georgia game at the start of the year, and he has just turned his entire season around. I'm rooting for Cade Klubnik, and I think he's a key player in this game.
Well, actually, Cade Klubnik's the only quarterback I didn't put.
Interesting.
Because
wow.
I thought, like, this guy's he's Cade Klubnik. Sorry, I'm stuttering. But like, he's gonna be that guy. He's gonna be the guy he is. So I kind of left him off. I went with defensive end T.J. Parker, and so he's got 11 sacks this season. I think it's very important to keep an immobile Quinn Ewers. I'm gonna say it 100 times in this next 9 minutes. Immobile Quinn Ewers, in the pocket. Keep him away from the pocket. Keep him trying to scramble and make plays because he's not gonna be able to on that bum leg. So T.J. Parker, and then also Phil Maffa, the running back. He's got 1,100 yards this season. If he can run well, then the Clemson offense will open up a lot against the Texas defense that has not given a lot to teams lately. And so I think Phil Maffa is huge to be able to open up this Clemson offense.
I also said Phil Maffa, and I forgot to say my second one, but he's a senior that we thought was going to be a lot better this year. And he was great at the start of the year, but towards the end of the year, he's been slow. And not slow, but he's slowed down at least, especially with the stats. And I think he's a guy that you don't count out, right? He could have this incredible game and wheel Clemson to beat Texas, or he could stink. So I think he's a big key player. I think if they get him going, they win this game easily. I think he's the biggest key player for Clemson besides Cade Klubnik.
Man, I mean, you're thinking this will be closer than it might be.
That is crazy.
80% to 20%.
That is wild.
ESPN.
That is wild.
I wouldn't call it that bad, but I'd say it's close.
I mean, I'd give it like 60-40 at least. 75-25. That's what I'd say.
That's probably what I would say as well. So, let's get to Texas now. I'll start to just talk. So, it's Quinn Ewers, right? He hasn't played his best as of late. He needs to show up here, even though he might have a bum leg, he might be immobile. He needs to sit in that pocket, needs to deliver the football at a higher rate than he's been doing the last few weeks. And also Isaiah Bond, he's kind of been an afterthought this year.
Yeah.
Like wide receiver 3 or 2 or something on his team, right? This is the guy we thought would be an All-American. So I think he's going to have some big play opportunities because of that kind of being an afterthought, and I think he can be a big part of a win here, making a few big plays.
Yeah, my number one key player for Texas in this game is Jaden Blue. While he has not been the most efficient back or the best back for Texas, they leaned on him at the beginning of the year, and he's been a little banged up in the middle of the year, and then he's come back and he's started to play a little bit better, but he gets in the end zone, and I think that's the most important thing, is being able to punch in the end zone, especially in that red zone. He has 112 carries for 564 yards. Hasn't been very efficient, but he's got 6 touchdowns on the ground. So I think he plays a big role in this game just because it's not the guy that you're scheming for, and I think he can come out kind of out of the dark and just play a good game. And then I went with a quarterback, but I didn't go with Quinn Ewers. I went with Arch Manning. And I think just depending on what happens to Quinn Ewers in this game, let's say he gets banged up, let's say he can't throw, let's say something really bad happens, you have Arch Manning behind him, who honestly, in my opinion, is going to start next year whether Quinn Ewers comes back or not. He's a sophomore, obviously, and it'll be interesting to see if he replaces him if Quinn Ewers plays bad in the first half. I don't think it'll happen, but look for Arch Manning for some quarterback draws and stuff like that.
Yeah, he'll definitely come in the rundowns.
Yeah.
I think they stick with Quinn Ewers if they can, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, if he does play bad, right? Key matchups here. I'm gonna say in the trenches once again. Texas offensive line, Clemson defensive line. I'm gonna be broken record, just like I was in that first game. If Quinn Ewers can sit in the pocket, he will beat Clemson. Period. He will be that guy, right? But he's also very, very immobile on that leg that's injured. So I think pressuring him is going to end very, very well for Clemson and maybe even push them to a win. Secondly, it's going to be Cade Klubnik versus that Texas secondary. I cannot say his name. Cade Klubnik cannot give Texas anything. It just can't happen. If he turns it over, Texas will take advantage. So it's less of picking them apart because Cade Klubnik can throw the football. But it's not giving them anything because that could be huge for Texas.
Yeah, I went with Klubnik's legs versus Texas more than just Cade Klubnik. I think if he can run the ball, if he can get outside of the pocket, I think that's something that Texas does not do well, that Clemson does. Texas has not been great against mobile quarterbacks this year. They also haven't played that many, right? I think Michael Van Buren from Mississippi State was probably their biggest one. He actually had a really good game. But a guy like Carson Beck that they've played twice this year has not been great mobily, right? He's not like that, and they've played pretty good against him. So I think a mobile quarterback in Klubnik is going to be tough. And then I have the Texas running game versus the Clemson running game. I think whoever gets the running game better and it can punch in more red zone opportunities, especially with the run, I think wins this game. So look out for Jaden Blue and look out for Phil Maffa.
All right. Keys to the game now. I'll start Texas. I'm going to say it again. I'll probably say it again in a minute. Protect Quinn Ewers. He cannot run, period. I mean, he can't run. You got to protect him. Keep him in that pocket because his arm is great. Also, make it difficult for Cade Klubnik. You can't let him sit back and pick you apart, whether that's pressuring him, whether that's disguising your coverages, whether that's covering well. Do something to keep him off balance, right? Keep him from just sitting back and picking you apart. I think that's huge. And then, you go to Texas now.
Yeah, so their main key is keep Clemson guessing, right? Don't make them know what they've been scheming for, right? And they've been scheming for a pocket passer in Quinn Ewers. They've been scheming for a balanced run game in Texas. Do something different, right? Trick plays, QB runs, etc. I think that's going to be the biggest thing in this game is just keep Clemson guessing. Don't let Dabo know what he's scheming for because if he does that, he's going to outcoach Sarkisian, in my opinion. So, yeah, you can move on to Clemson.
All right, Clemson, I think one thing established to run, make Texas that great defense, respect both your run and your pass. Open it up for Cade Klubnik and the running game and make you able to score some points here. And I think you need to get momentum early. I think if Texas, not even just get momentum, just don't let Texas get the momentum because Texas gets a big lead on you early, they're not giving it up, period. And so I think Clemson needs to just not keep it close in the start to give themselves a chance to make a run in the end here.
Yeah, and mine's similar. It's get Phil Maffa going. I think he's going to be one of the biggest players in this game. I think that Phil Maffa is going to have one of the biggest first rounds that we've seen out of a running back, out of all these guys. And I think that the Clemson run game, it just depends on how the offensive line blocks. And I think that's the key, is get Phil Maffa going and get momentum early. I think if you have a chance to get the ball, I'm going to take the ball. I want Clemson to start going. That's just my opinion. You shouldn't by statistics. But I want to get yourself going. I want to get an early lead, and I want to put the pressure on Texas.
Don't be the coach of LSU. I won't get mad.
No, don't be Brian Kelly.
So we'll get to our picks here now. I'll start. I think both these defenses come out really, really hot in this game. This is a very low-scoring first half plus, right? But I think late in this game, you have two star quarterbacks. They're going to go out there, and they're going to make plays, right? And I think it comes down to a last-second field goal, whether that's one team or the other. and I think Texas wins it 24-21 to move on and play Arizona State second round.
I got the complete opposite. I've got a shootout. I think it is touchdown after touchdown after touchdown, but I've got Clemson taking the edge in Austin. It's not an easy place to play. Now, it is like a 2:30 kick, I believe, or a 3:30 kick. It's a 3 o'clock kick.
And there's our audio again. Sorry.
I got Clemson winning this game 38-35. I think the first two drives actually end in punts, but I don't think we see any more punts the rest of the game. I got Clemson taking the edge.
Yeah, they could go anywhere, right? That's what's fun about this game. I think that's Clemson's shot. If they can get into a shootout, that's their shot, right? They did it against SMU and then made a 1,000-yard field goal to win. So now let's get into the final one. Ohio State versus Tennessee. Biggest game of the week. I don't think anyone would ever think anything different. So, I'll start with, so Ohio State's the home team. Tennessee traveling up to Ohio State. I didn't really think about that when I made my pick, but that's fine. I still think I like my pick anyway. All right, key players. I'll start with Ohio State unless you want to start.
Or you can start.
You start.
You want me to start? Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I mean, Will Howard. I picked 7 quarterbacks. Right. I think he really struggled versus Michigan. It was a really rough game for the entire team, and so he needs to step up versus an elite Tennessee defense, one of the best in the country, and he needs to make plays because if Tennessee does to him what Michigan did, then it's not even gonna be close. And I have Emeka Egbuka here. He's taking a back seat to Jeremiah Smith this year, but I think that'll give him an opportunity, kind of like Isaiah Bond, to make some plays and score a couple touchdowns, and that's huge for Ohio State in this game.
Yeah, I actually have Jeremiah Smith. We've seen him as the best receiver on this team this year as a freshman. Now, that all changes when you get in the playoff. It's single elimination. You get one game. I think he's going to have to come up big, right? I think Ibuka's going to be good, but I think Jeremiah Smith's the best receiver on this team.
He is.
He just is. He's the most talented, and he's been the best receiver on the team all year. He has 57 receptions, a little under 1,000 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He's played incredible, truly, but that all changes when you get into a playoff game. So I think Jeremiah Smith is a guy they're going to have to end up leaning on. And then I couldn't really find another player. I think Egbuka could be a guy. I think Judkins could be a guy. I even think Will Howard could be a guy. But I went with Ryan Day, another guy who just can't win a big game right now, right? He's lost to Michigan the last 4 years. And this is for these seniors, in my opinion. It's also for his job. I think if he loses this game, his job is in jeopardy a lot. So I think Ryan Day is a key piece in this game. Can he outcoach Josh Heupel?
Yeah, I think if they don't get to the semis, I think they have to beat Oregon. Let's play.
If he wins this game, he's
maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. But I'm not Jeremiah Smith's gonna be great, obviously, right?
Maybe, you don't know.
I mean, and who do they lean on Ibuka more as a veteran in the playoffs? We'll see.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think Ibuka is gonna have opportunities in this game. All right, for Tennessee, Nico Iamaleava. I don't know why I'm good at saying that, but I can't say K Club name.
That's actually pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you say Iamaleava. He's just a freshman, right? I've said it a few times now. How does he respond in the biggest game of his life? By far. And I think that's huge for Tennessee. If he can come out and make plays, it's going to be Tennessee's ball game, right? But if he comes out soft and lets Ohio State's defense get to him, it's going to be rough. I think Dylan Sampson, the running back, he's 1,485 yards. Is insane. 22 touchdowns. He needs to be great and keep the pressure on the Ohio State defense. Take some pressure off of Nico as well. That's huge. So Dylan Sampson's my second guy.
Yeah, Dylan Sampson's the number one guy for Tennessee easily. He's been the best running back in the SEC this year. He's the junior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with 256 carries, 1,400 yards, 1,400 yards, 1,485, almost 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns. He's the best running back in the SEC, and that's easy. They're going to have to lean on the run up at the shoe this weekend. So Dylan Sampson is definitely a key player. And Josh Heupel, another coach, in my opinion. Who's going to outcoach each other, right? I think he's smarter than Ryan Day, and I think he can scheme better than Ryan Day. But does that make over, playoff experience, right? I mean, it just depends. So Josh Heupel's another key guy for me.
Okay, key matchups. Wait, I was going to say something.
Who do you think's a better coach, Josh Heupel or Ryan Day?
I don't know anything about Josh Heupel. All right.
Really?
Yeah. All right, key matchups here. I think my first one's going to be Nico Iamaleava versus the Ohio State secondary. I'm really good at saying his name, man.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think can they force this young quarterback in Nico Iamaleava into mistakes? I think that's going to be huge for Ohio State because if he doesn't make mistakes, they're not going to lose this game behind all the talent they have otherwise. So they can make mistakes and you can win this game.
Yeah,
that was the second one.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. Were we doing 2-2?
We can do it because mine's similar to yours. So we just
you do yours and James.
So I went with Nico the Freshie because I don't know how to say
Iamaleava.
Yeah.
I'll just pitch it.
Versus Ohio State's DBs, especially Caleb Downs, right? Caleb Downs is a veteran guy. He's very smart. He's going to be able to read Nico. Nico's a younger guy. Nico's a younger guy, so it kind of just depends on who plays smarter in this game. So I have Nico versus Caleb Downs.
Can't wait for this live stream, James. Oh my god! All right. Oh man.
I'm calling him Nico the entire time.
What is like 4 days? Well, I'll help you. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
My second one is gonna be Ohio State offensive line versus Tennessee defensive line. Again in the trenches. Will Howard's gonna need to have time in the pocket, versus to find his receivers. I think it's huge, because again going against a great Tennessee defense. And Tennessee can flush them. They're in business here. I think O-line, D-line here. Tennessee D-line, Ohio State O-line.
I've got Ohio State receivers. I mean, they've called themselves wide receiver U the last 10 years, whether it's them or LSU. Versus the coaching for Tennessee, more than the DBs for Tennessee, because I don't think they're especially great, but I think the coaching for Tennessee is going to have to play a big role. I think the scheme, playing help on receivers, because Ohio State has some of the best in the country. So I have the Ohio State receivers versus Tennessee coaching staff.
All right, keys to the game now. My keys for Ohio State: keep Nico Iamaleava in the pocket, force him into mistakes, don't let him out that pocket, don't let him go make plays, and establish a run versus a stout Tennessee defense. That'll open up the passing game for you and really open up your offense in general to be able to take advantage of a really good defense in Tennessee.
My keys to the game, for, you said Ohio State first, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's for them to have a balanced offense, and it's not that their offense has been bad this year on the ground or in the sky. I think it's been balanced all year, and I think that's what they have to do in the playoffs once they get here. They have two of the best running backs in the country, and they obviously have Will Howard, who has been playing better the past couple of weeks. He's still not great. And then they have some of the best receivers in the country. It's just playing balanced and playing smart on offense.
All right, Tennessee now. Continue to limit the chunk plays out of Ohio State. Make Will Howard march down the field against one of the best. There goes our audio again. Against one of the best defenses in the country. He's not going to be able to march down like that. So I think make him limit the chunk plays if you're Tennessee. And run the football. Control the game. Lift the pressure off of Nico. I think that's so big in this game. Probably the number one thing for Tennessee is run the football. I'll take that.
Okay. Again, it's get Dylan Sampson going. He's been the best running back in the SEC. I'll continue to say that. And it's grind it out. Grind Ohio State out. Play better than them on the ground and make possessions last long. Get the 8 to 9 minute drives. Get those long drives and just grind it out against Ohio State. I think it could be a low scoring game, and I think Tennessee wants it to be like that.
By the way, if you're on Spotify, you're probably not listening anymore because you've heard 3 blowouts already. But come to YouTube, man. Like, I'm telling you, it's way better. You get all this music. Like, it's good. All right. And now we can get to our picks. This is great. I think this is going to be a very defensive game all around. And I think Tennessee, their defense dominates. I think they control the game. I think Nico Iamaleava, he's going to protect the ball. He's going to do just enough to win this game. 20-14. I have my only upset, Tennessee over Ohio State. And low scoring game.
I just can't see it happening. I just can't. And this was the one game where, like, right, they're 9-8. It's supposed to be the closest. I actually think it's the farthest away. I do think both defenses play well in the first half. I think Ryan Day schemes in a way at halftime that gets the Ohio State offense going in the second half. I got Ohio State winning this game 27-14. I don't know. I just think they control it, and I think Ohio State's just a better team. So I got Ohio State at the shoe.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, Tennessee's not that good, but then I looked into it, and I was like, wait, this is a team. Like,
they've been great, yeah.
I think they can win this game, especially the way Ohio State played last week, or last few games, really, at the end of their season. They haven't been playing good. They're going to have to prove it to me here. But I think they win this game. I think I'd have them to beat Oregon. So, again, we'll talk about this on the live stream, but winner plays Oregon. And that was probably the best piece of content you'll hear from us all year.
Oh, yeah. So, we're pretty smart, I'd say.
Maybe next week will be better. We'll see. But I think that was a really good job about just breaking this down. I think we did a good job. So, probably one of the best pieces of content all year. So, go tell your friend to tell a friend, right? And our live stream, just more of this stuff on Saturday night, right here. So, no more at James's mom's house. We're right here, okay? Let's go recent one now.
Cue the music.
I missed this last week, but Devin Williams was traded to the Yankees for Nestor Cortez and others. A huge trade for the Yankees. Jackson Arnold has signed with Auburn because he wants to win. Travis Hunter wins the Heisman by the smallest margin since 2009, and that's what happens when there's no great quarterbacks in college football. Navy upsets Army in a 31-13 blowout, and there was no flag planting, sadly. David Montgomery is out for the season with MCL tear. Now the Lions have to try to survive with only one star running back. And Patrick Mahomes suffered a high ankle sprain last week. He's questionable versus Houston this week, and Carson Wentz is his backup. The Bills win a shootout versus the Lions, ending their 11-game winning streak. The Eagles beat the Steelers by 2 scores, and the Packers stomped the Seahawks. And I was the crazy one for saying it would happen. The Texans clinched the AFC South, and the Steelers clinched playoffs with a loss, and the Vikings also clinched the playoffs. Dennis Schroeder, who was traded to the Warriors for DeAnthony Melton, who is also injured right now. There's a new NBA All-Star format coming our way this year. It's 3 All-Star teams with 8 players each. The 4th team is going to be the winner of the Rising Stars Challenge. Single elimination, all games to 40, all in one night. I'm excited about this, James. Cody Bellinger and $5 million are being traded to the Yankees for reliever Cody Poteet. Who is that, and how drunk was the Cubs GM yesterday? Falcons are to start Michael Penix Jr. moving forward over Kirk Bench. I think the Falcons are addicted to sucking. Actually, they're addicted to sucking. And the Bucks win the second ever NBA Cup versus OKC, 97-81. And James, the college football playoff first round is this weekend. What part of the weekend are you most excited for?
Oh man, is it the Notre Dame Indiana game? Is it the Ohio State Tennessee game? Oh man, what game? I mean, there's some good NBA games this week.
No, okay.
There's obviously
Yeah,
some NFL games on Sunday.
Talking about college football.
No, my favorite part of this weekend is 1000% going to be the Right Bench Podcast live stream.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, starting at 7 p.m.
Central time.
On the dot.
We might start a little before.
Maybe like 6:58.
Yeah.
We'll say. But around 7, tune in. I think it's going to be fun. I think we're going to have a ton of fun. So.
All right, well.
Ooh. I can hear him.
We've got a guest this week. Biggest week of NFL picks we've had. Let's get him in here, Bruce Talbert. Yeah! Oh my God, we don't do it.
Yeah! Whoa! Whoa!
We want to tell you.
Are y'all here, bro?
We want to tell you about CG3's performance.
All right, y'all
Hey,
here.
whoa!
Happy birthday, Jaden Daniels.
6 assists, 12 points.
And after GT got robbed.
GT got robbed.
GT got robbed.
Alright, let's all roll.
And I present to you. I
Let's all
present
roll.
to you. I appreciate that, guys.
Alright, tell him up.
I'll see y'all at the live stream.
Yeah.
Get
out.
7 p.m.
Get out. Hey, sit down.
Nah, I don't want
That's what was
to.
gonna happen.
Nah, I like them. I don't want to get them out.
Okay.
They're friends.
Yeah, so there's a couple of them in the podcast.
Yeah, they're not winners, by the way.
Yeah, they all
I just want to throw that out
They
there.
all lost. Speaking of the winner, Luke Duval is in the lead right now. Bruce, you need 13 out of 16 picks here. No one else has had 16 chances. You do.
I
You
can
need
do that.
13 out of them, out of the 16 to win. Owen placed in 4th last week with 10 out of 15. And me and James' score, I'm at 144, James 125.
Yep. It's pretty much over.
Let's get it.
It is. It is over.
19. in
Unless
3
I
weeks.
get 16 points this week.
Yeah. So anyway, well, you still, I would supply.
I would be close.
15. Okay. Chargers, Broncos. Let's go.
On Thursday Night Football, this is going to be the Chargers. They're going to control this game. They're going to run the ball well. They're just going to outplay Denver, in my opinion. I got the Chargers taking this one at home.
There goes the 16, right? Huge game for the AFC playoffs. I think the Chargers are just better. They're going to show it here. They get the win.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with the Broncos on this one.
Okay.
I think they're just better.
Okay.
I think they.
Bruce,
I think
you're
they
gonna
have
be
it in the
going
bag.
first from now on.
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs, Houston Texans.
Kansas City versus Houston.
I'm gonna have to go with the Houston Texans on this
Okay.
one. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I think they just have the what it takes to win.
The oomph.
Yeah, you could say that.
I got Kansas City. I think the Texans have really underperformed this year. I think Kansas City wins a close one. At home.
I disagree.
Yeah, I agree with Bruce here. I think Houston wins this game. Patrick Mahomes will not play in this game. There's a very good chance he does not. While Carson Wentz is the backup, which is not a bad backup, I just think Houston outplays them. I think Joe Mixon has a good game, and I think they run the ball effectively.
See, that's interesting because I forgot about that.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Well, too late. I still think the Chiefs are going to win. Houston stinks. All right. Steelers, Ravens. Big game. Bruce?
I'm gonna have to go with the Steelers on this one. I think they just. I don't know. I'm gonna same reasoning with the with the Texans. Excuse me. I think they just have what it takes. They have the oomph.
Okay.
That's really all it takes
Okay.
to win. If you have that drive, you know.
Yeah,
The power.
I think this is
They're hungry
I think
and
this is a very
devour.
close game, and my pick in this game just completely relied on what happened last time. And Steelers won last time. Baltimore's not losing to them twice. I got Baltimore.
Yeah, I got Baltimore too. It's not going to happen again.
Yeah,
It just won't. It's not.
No, they're not winning.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I just got Lamar Jackson outplaying Russell Wilson in this one. Lamar Jackson's having a very good year. He won't win the MVP, but he's having a very effective year, especially the last 5 games. I got Lamar just playing better than Russ, and I got the Ravens.
All right, Bengals and Browns. Bruce.
I'm gonna have to go with the Browns.
Dang, he keeps looking at it.
When you have what they have, can you really lose?
That's a great point.
So,
It's a great point. The Browns have a lot. They do have like players on a roster.
I mean, they got a lot of losses too. So I think Cincinnati. I think they continue to play well here. I think they blow out the Browns. Maybe not blow out, but I think they win the game.
They're going to do exactly what they did to Tennessee last week. They're finally starting to get some easier opponents in their schedule, and this is the right time to make a playoff run. I have Joe Burrow playing great in this game, and I just think Cincinnati's going to outplay Cleveland. I got Cincinnati winning.
Bills, Patriots. No.
I'm gonna have to go with the.
He's making
the opposite of every single thing.
Yeah,
so
smart.
He's gonna do that.
That's smart.
What are we saying?
Oh, yeah, you can. I mean,
What
actually,
Bills or Patriots?
No, I'm averaging like 10 a week at least. So you go ahead.
Obviously, the Patriots. I mean, I don't know. How could you go against them?
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, New England's had a
saying.
solid turnaround this year. I mean, you had it, point. But my king does not care. He doesn't.
Wait, who's
Give
your
me
king?
Josh Allen's my king.
Yeah.
All right, and Josh Allen is. He's gonna lead the Bills to the Super Bowl unless they play Kansas City. And my king doesn't care that New England's had a good turnaround. Drake May is not my king. Josh Allen is. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, so what is New England playing for? Are they playing for the number 1 overall pick? Nah. Are they playing for a quarterback in the draft? Nah. Might as well win at this point. I'm taking the Patriots over the Bills. Very close game. I got Patriots winning by 3 on a last-second field goal. I think Drake May just outplays Josh Allen in this game. I think Josh Allen is the MVP right now. I think he has a slump game.
I agree with you. I think that's a good insight.
I mean, you're down by 19. You might
really took the words.
I think it could happen.
Rams, Jets.
The
Bruce.
Jets, of course.
The Jets, of course, yeah.
I mean, like, who else could it be, really?
Jets are a good team.
The Rams? No, I don't think so. I don't think they have any chance. Very close game, though, I will say.
Yeah, I also agree. Very close game. I think the Jets have been playing very well, though. But I think the Rams come through in the end. I think it's a close game. The Rams come through in the end.
I agree up to the end.
Okay.
Where you say the Rams come through, they're not gonna come through.
I do think it's a close game, and I think Aaron Rodgers actually outplays Matthew Stafford. I just think the Jets finally run the ball for once, but they lose. I just think the Rams are going to play better, so I got the Rams.
Stafford always finds a way to win at this point, but since he's been on the Rams. Eagles, Commanders. I'm telling you, I got like 12 out of 15 last week, 13 the week before. You go ahead.
Jane Daniels plays for Washington.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm picking the Washington Commanders on this one. Because, I mean, they have Jaden Daniels. He was a Heisman winner.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
I mean, playing too much 2K12.
But so he's pretty good.
You know, he got second in the Heisman one
We're
time.
talking about the NFL.
We're not
You
talking.
said the Wizards, so I was saying he played too much 2K12.
What?
2K12.
What is he talking about?
Okay, it's
Yeah, I don't get it. Wait, what?
because he said basketball. Okay. You know who else got second in the Heisman one time? Jalen Hurts.
Not Jaden Daniels.
Jalen Hurts.
That's a great point.
I think Washington just hasn't been playing very well lately. They won last week, but didn't look great. I think Philly takes care of them and pretty easily here.
I want y'all to remember who's going to be the Rookie of the Year this year. I want y'all to remember who won the Heisman in college.
But it doesn't matter. He's
What
in the NFL.
has Jalen Hurts done in college?
Made
Or in the
Super Bowl.
NFL?
He made a Super Bowl.
Did he win the MVP? Did he win the Super Bowl? No, this is Jaden Daniels' game. This is a game that the Commanders have to win. This is a game that puts them pretty much in the playoffs because they don't have.
They can clinch.
What do you
this
even?
thing.
Would
They
you
can't
say,
exactly.
Would
So
you say it's
if they win this game, they pretty much clinch at least a wild card, which that's probably what they're going to end up getting.
Would you say it's a must-win game?
It's a must-win game. So I got Jaden Daniels and the Commanders winning this game.
I think they need more help than that to win.
No,
Clinch the playoff spot.
well, this is their hardest game of the next 3 they play.
Yeah.
So this is a big game.
They need to clinch this week, though. Is what I'm saying. Like they need more than just a win.
No, they need to win 2 more, I think, and then clinch.
They can clinch this week. It's possible.
They need other people to lose.
I think it's pretty far fetched, but it's possible. Giants, Falcons.
The New York Giants. I mean,
Okay.
Oh
what
yeah.
explanation do I really have to get? I mean, it's New York. The Falcons aren't much worse, but
Okay.
and they're gonna lose.
I mean, okay, the Giants just aren't.
I don't
real.
think. What does that even mean?
Okay, the Giants aren't real. Like they're just not. The Falcons aren't much better. They're starting Michael Penix this week, but they're gonna win because they're they're a little bit better than the Giants.
Penix has looked great in practice, they said, the last 3 weeks. I expect him to come in here and just sling the ball. I do think the Falcons win this game. I think it's close. and I actually think it's more
Wow.
high scoring than people expect. I think Drake London has a big game. I think Ray McLeod has a big game. I think the receivers play better than Bijan. I have Atlanta taking this one home at home.
I applaud you, James. You did not.
They're
pick-
2-12, but they're not playing for. They're playing for Shadur
I mean, no,
Sanders. So like
you did just share a bad homework pick a minute ago, but I still love it. Love it, James.
the bet's
All right,
over. So like
Cardinals, Panthers. It's still the elite neighbors. Crazy.
Of course, I mean I got to go with the Panthers.
that's a great pick.
I really love Panthers.
Okay.
The black ones especially.
You think
Okay.
they are the
They're
Black
cool.
Panthers?
They are the.
You
Black
think the
Panthers.
Panthers would beat a Cardinal in a fight?
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
okay.
it's
Of
an
course
easy
they would.
pick.
Okay,
So,
well, I mean,
if you
Arizona's
yeah.
looking for a big win here, right? They are against Carolina. Didn't they get it in a very close game? Arizona wins it.
I got Carolina winning this one at home. Like I said, a Panther's going to beat a Cardinal in a fight any day of the week. That's not why they
Such a
win.
dumb
Bryce Young's just going to outplay Kyler Murray in the battle of the short quarterbacks. No offense to either one of them. But I got Bryce Young just outplaying him. I think Kyler Murray has a good game as well, but I think Bryce Young has just been turning things around. But they do need to find his guy in the draft or in free agency. Find his guy that he can always throw to because it's not Adam Thielen.
They're both taller than you.
No, they're not.
Yes, they
Kyler
are.
Murray's not fat.
Kyler Murray's like, maybe not. I think he's 5'8".
I think he's
5'8".
5'6".
what is it?
All right. Titans, Colts. You go ahead.
The Tennessee Titans, of course. I mean,
Talk about speak up.
what do you really? The Tennessee
Dude,
Titans.
he tall.
The
Yeah,
Tennessee
well-
Titans.
Yeah, I'm
Obviously.
5'10". What?
No,
I
you're
mean-
not. You are not 5'10".
Wait, easily.
And is
I'm
Bryce
trying
Young
to make my
5'10" too?
pick, dude.
Is
How
Bryce,
tall are you, Bruce?
I'm like 5'11".
Yes, you're taller than
is
him.
Bryce like 5'10" too?
Yeah. No, Bryce like 5'10", 5'9", something like that.
Okay.
You know,
I
be a
think he's
tiny
5'9".
bit
So,
shorter.
Dude, I'm
he's-
trying to make
everybody's
my-
taller than you, so don't talk.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to make my pick right now. Okay, the Tennessee Titans are coming out on top. I mean, like every day of the week, any day of the week.
Would
Pick
you
'em.
say they're on a mountain?
Doesn't matter the location. You could say they're on a mountain. And it's like going like up.
They're still here. Those kids are still. Okay. Anyway, I got the Colts. Both teams are really skinny right now. I think
That's not
Tennessee finds a way to lose this one. I got Indianapolis.
This is Indianapolis. No one will watch this game. Like, not even Tennessee or maybe Colts fans will, but like, not even Tennessee fans are going to watch this game. It's going to be the least watched game of the week. I got the Colts coming out on top. I think it's a low scoring game. I got 9-6 Colts.
Don't go making calling games the least watched game in the league. James.
That game,
There's another one.
debatable. I know what you're talking about. Debatable.
Detroit, Chicago.
Debatable.
Oh, the Chicago Bears. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously.
Okay.
Wait, what's the other team?
The Detroit Lions.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah. I think this will be an absolute.
Would a
bloodbath.
lion beat a bear? I don't think.
Ooh, I don't know. It'd be a
It'd
close
be
fight.
I don't think it would be a close fight. I
It'd
think
be,
a bear
it'd
would
be a
slaughter.
lion.
Grizzly bear is like the most dangerous animal.
Yeah, but a lion's
planet.
dude. A lion's the king of the
Besides
jungle.
mosquitoes and hippos.
Okay.
Alright.
Wait a minute. We need a football team. What about like the
They
hold
kill
on,
more
what's a
people.
team that doesn't have a team? North
kill more
Dakota
people, though.
Mosquitoes.
Alright. This is gonna be a bloodbath of a game. I mean, Chicago does not have a chance against this Detroit team. That's
I
just
don't know. What are
gonna
you
be
saying?
they're gonna be firing coming off a loss. I got Detroit big.
This will be a blood. It's not going to be a bloodbath. Maybe
actually-
for Detroit.
Once again, I do think it's closer actually.
It's not.
And they're not going to be able to protect Caleb. They're not going to be able to. But the Lions have a lot of injuries right now. They're going to get some guys back
Please do it. Please do
going into the playoffs. But I still have the Lions
it.
winning this
okay,
game.
that's what I thought.
I just think they're going to have to lean on Jahmyr Gibbs a lot, especially pretty much Dave Montgomery's out for the year. They're going to have to lean on him a lot in the run game. He's now running back one. He will get almost every snap. So Jahmyr Gibbs has a big game against the Bears on Fox.
Alright, it could be that thing though. Like now they know it's Jahmyr Gibbs.
Maybe.
And yeah, we'll see.
They're the best running back duo in the league this year. So.
Vikings, Seahawks.
Oh, the Seahawks. I mean, like,
You don't have to say much. I mean, it's just pretty evident, right?
do I even really need to give
No.
my explanation?
No, you
I don't
don't.
Dude,
think
we
I
had
do.
a debate with Sadek. I don't.
With Sadiq Al-Hor?
Yes, exactly. Sadek was on the podcast, and we had a debate about it.
Cool.
And it's like, do the Seahawks really like? Is it a bird? Is it a real thing? Like we were trying to figure out.
I
What
actually don't think it's real.
what is a Seahawk?
Alright,
Can
anyway,
you explain that to us?
it-
What-
there-
Seahawk?
yeah, what's a Seahawk?
It's like it's a bird.
Okay.
Okay,
It's their mascot.
Well,
all I know is that Seahawk is worse than a Viking because the Minnesota I think overpowers them in this game. I think their offensive fireworks is
I could
just
not disagree.
too
more.
much for Seattle. I think Minnesota wins, and I think it'll be close. Like I said last week.
I got Minnesota winning this game. Pretty easily. I'm excited to see the next steps for Minnesota, and this is just looking towards the future. Do they go with J.J. McCarthy next year, and does Sam Darnold go to a new team? But this has been a really fun year for Minnesota Vikings fans, and just the Vikings in general, especially for Justin Jefferson. He's the leading receiver in the league, and his quarterback, Sam Darnold. Pretty cool.
Sam Darnold's good, bro.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, it's not like
No.
it's not like he's got Joe Burrow like Jamar Chase does, or like Josh Allen, or So I just think it's really cool what Minnesota's done this year, and I'm rooting for them. So I got Minnesota win this game.
The Rams could take a 1-game lead in this division here. So,
Yep.
something to look at. Jacksonville, Las Vegas. Called the Super Bowl. Who do you have?
Wait, what is the Las Vegas team again?
Raiders.
The Raiders, of
Ooh.
course. I mean, I just wanted to ask that so y'all would name them for me.
Yeah.
Because they're going to win the game. And they're going to really, I mean,
They've won 2 games.
it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
How many games?
2.
Is it
Out
two?
of how
Yeah,
many?
it's two.
Out
of
of like
14.
14.
I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So.
I can't wait to watch this one. It'll be called the Super Bowl, right? But Jacksonville really impressed me last week. I think they win it here behind the talented arm of Matt Jones.
Yeah, I totally agree. This will also be not a game anyone will watch. I will not watch this game. It'll be Mac Jones winning this game for Jacksonville. Even though he's not that good of a quarterback, Las Vegas is 10 times worse, if I'm being honest. They're also tanking for Shedeur Sanders, so we'll see what happens. I got Jacksonville.
All right, Niners, Dolphins.
The San Francisco 49ers. Just give me
Mhm.
them. They
Yeah.
just, I don't know. I just got a gut feeling on this one that
Yeah.
they're going to win.
Okay.
And it won't be a good game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's gonna be a good game. I just these two teams that are kind of
It's a pretty boring
they've
team.
kind of been not great this year, but I think Miami finds a way to win late. I like the Dolphins here.
I agree. I think they're going to have to throw their way out of it. I think they're down early against the Niners, but I just got Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill both having really big games. I got Miami coming out on top. Pretty big at the end, but close at the beginning.
The Niners have to prove it to me at this point.
They're just not good.
Until they win
Like,
again, gotta prove it to me. What are they right now? Thanks, Bruce. 6-8. Bucks, Cowboys.
What? Let me just take a look at my notes real quick. Probably the Cowboys on this one.
Whew.
I hate to say it. I don't really like the Cowboys that much, but I do think they're coming out on top in this one. I
Alright.
can't lie about it. I gotta say the facts, how I look at them, and I see the Dallas Cowboys winning this one.
Yeah, Dallas was really good last week. But Cooper
I
Rush is
almost said
still
the Mavericks.
Cooper Rush
Too
is,
much 2K12.
It's too much.
Cooper Rush still stinks, right? I think Bucks win by 20.
I got Cowboys actually winning this game. I don't believe in the Bucks. I just really don't. I think they can be
Why?
good.
They already won the division at this point.
But this year they have not won the division.
Michael Penix is the quarterback for the Falcons now.
I mean, he can be a little bit better than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has almost thrown as many interceptions as touchdowns this year.
Don't knock Jameis.
So I do think that this is a close game, but I actually think Cooper Rush played really well last week, and I'm excited to see kind of what he does because I thought Carolina was going to win that game pretty easily, and he controlled it very well. He controlled time of possession, and he won that game pretty handily. But I got the Cowboys on top in Jerry's world.
All right, Saints, Packers, Monday Night Football. Big game of the week. First,
This is, I mean, of course, I got to go with my home team.
Oh
The
yeah.
New Orleans Saints.
Oh yeah.
What is their record at the moment?
They're like 5-9.
they're 5-9.
5-9. I mean, that's pretty average if you look
Yeah.
at it. If you boil down to it, they know what they have to do and they're going to do it.
Okay.
I know
I'd say
they will.
I'd say 5 wins is pretty
Yeah.
average.
Yeah, for sure. I think New Orleans is playing with real heart right now. I do think they are, but Green Bay is just playing with talent, and so I think Green Bay wins this game.
This will be Green Bay, and it'll be easy. I said I didn't want to pick for New Orleans much, but
We got the Rizzler.
I then we got the Rizzler, so I had to pick a couple
The
games. That's our coach, the Rizzler. Rizzy is his
name?
actual name, yeah.
His name is.
But I got Green Bay. Jordan Love's going to outplay one-armed Derek Carr
The
or
Rizzler?
Spencer Rattler or Jake Hanna.
Derek Carr's out for the year.
or
Spencer Rattler.
Ian-
Let's go. He's
well,
the future.
we actually we don't know.
Derek Carr's out for the
We
year.
don't know if he's out for the year technically,
guy
yet.
now,
but
sorry.
they're gonna keep him out. We don't know that for sure.
Will Big Justice
No,
be
no.
there too?
They're all over the
Dude,
radio
he
yesterday.
said they need Big Justice there.
They do need Big Justice. I mean,
He said they need to invite him to a game. But
you can't
I
have
got
the
Packers.
Rizzler without Big Justice and
Alright.
AJ.
Dog of the week.
Dog of the week.
Oh my god, that was bad, James. Okay.
Dog of the week.
I'll go first. My dog of the week is Blake Horvath. He's a Navy quarterback. He's the biggest dog this week, right? He was 4 for 9, throwing the ball 107 yards. That's pretty good on 4 completions. And 2 touchdowns. That's 50%. He also had 25 rushes. And he had 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. He led Navy to a 31-13 rout of Army. He played his best in the most important game of the year for them. Everybody counted out Navy this year versus the American champions.
Yep.
But Navy dominated against Army. Blake Horvath is the dog of the week.
Who's yours, Bruce?
Let me take out my notes.
All
real
right,
quick.
James, you
You
get
want
it.
me to go?
Oh wait.
I kind of
No,
want to
no,
go
no,
last.
what's your notes
though.
now?
Mine's
I
good.
know.
I want to go last. Just let him pull out his notes.
Quickly.
Mine is like the best dog of the week we've maybe ever
I
had.
actually have his stats memorized. I just wanted to.
Oh, really? Go ahead.
My dog of the week is Daniel Beal.
Okay. From
on the-
UL. From
on
UL.
the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah. Raging Cajuns. Yeah.
He's 95 yards, 1 interception, 2. Oh wait, no, what was the stat? I believe it was
2 touchdowns, I think.
No, 9 for 24. And it was an unfortunate 31-3 defeat, but that's
That's
really-
your favorite player, right?
yeah.
Favorite player in FBS. That's okay then. Like
Yeah.
sometimes
No, but okay.
dogs can be favorite players.
If you just because you lose does not mean you did not play to your expectation. You know,
Okay.
like Josh Allen
Yeah.
against who did they lose to?
Detroit.
They scored, yeah,
But
They
they
did not
won.
beat. They beat Detroit. All right.
no, the one where he scored like 57.
The Rams.
Fantasy?
Yeah.
And they lost?
Rams.
Yeah.
Don't you have them in
Sometimes-
fantasy?
All right,
Yeah, I do.
James.
He won me the game.
All right, my dog of the week this week is the United States of America.
Oh, I know you would do it. Like, oh my god.
And traditions in general, because there wasn't many dogs this week. If I'm being honest, Charlie probably picked the best one. But if we're being real, Army and Navy have the coolest traditions. I saw a shirt at the game that was like, "We want to sing last," meaning that the team that sings last, you sing each other's alma maters. So like
Yeah.
Army goes and sings
for real,
Navy's,
for
and Navy sings Army's, and you want to be the team who sings last because that means you win. So I just think it's a really cool rivalry. I was so tempted when we did rivalries week to put them number 1. We obviously didn't because it's not the best.
I wanted
But-
to put higher.
We put them top 3.
No, we didn't.
We put them at 3.
I think we
We
did.
definitely did.
Hey, let's roll the tape here again.
Or I put them at 3 on mine.
I put him at
I
3.
remember.
You
Did
the
we
one that
do
brought it
put him-
down. Hey, we'll play roll the tape.
So either way, USA and traditions. So I'm just gonna sit here, salute.
All right. Well, thank y'all for listening.
cool.
We got a big live stream on Saturday. I hope y'all tune in, and we will see
Tune
y'all
in
in
to
the
the live
next
stream.
one. Peace.
Peace.